fans, it has been a long time since I've had the pleasure of talking to all you beautiful people. Oh, I've missed you guys thoroughly. I really have. And the preseason is upon us, Raptor fans. The Raptors get their first preseason game underway tomorrow. Listen to this part. At Scotiabank Arena with fans. I could say that all day right now. It is fantastic to talk about because that's not fantastic to talk about right now. So let's talk about these guys. And you're all thinking, whoa, hold up. Wait a minute. There's no purple jersey. Damn right there's not. Because my good old buddy Matt got me this jersey. Matt McCullough, absolute stud, got me this jersey. This Pascal Siakam jersey with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. Now gone, both of them. That, by the way, that's staying up there. You got to move on from it. The new regime, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, guys like that taking over this team now. And it's a new regime. I got to go along with it. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, bud. All right, let's break down this preseason preview for you guys. Lots to talk about here. So we'll start off with the first thing. And it's something I've already mentioned once in this video. That man right there. Nope, there he is. This is the first year that we are going to be going without Kyle Lowry in quite a while. And it's going to feel very weird to see Kyle not in the starting lineup for the Toronto Raptors. You know, from North Philly to your city, we're not going to be hearing that stuff anymore, and it's really, really tough. However, we did see this coming a few years back. When we saw the emergence of guys like Fred VanVleet, you know, we thought, okay, well, when Kyle's done, we have Fred that can take the reins, right? That's what we expected. Well, now he's getting that chance. And the question is for Fred, how's he going to run with it? Is he going to be able to take it over and fill the shoes just fine? Because that's all he can do is just fine. He can't fill those shoes by any means. But if he can fill some of the shoes, you know, just like if any Yankee fans are watching, when Didi Gregorius filled in for Derek Jeter, he did a good job, but it was not Derek Jeter. So for these guys, I'm not comparing Jeter to Kyle Lowry, calm down, but it's just my analogy I'm firing out there. And it's going to be very interesting to tell what Fred VanVleet does this year. Is he going to try and force it? Is he going to try and do too much, right? Or is he just going to let the game come to him? And I think he's at that point in his career where he will just let it all come to him. And I think that's very good because he's going to have the ball a lot. He's going to come up the floor a lot with the ball because he's going to be your starting one. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch the development of Fred VanVleet as the new court general starting this year. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch that. But before we get into any more players and expectations and whatnot, well, I guess we'll send the expectations front because I have questions for you guys. My first question, we've seen all through, you know, the United States, whatnot, ESPN, blah, blah, blah. The Raptors, you know, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to be sub-500 team, 35 wins. On what planet is 35 wins going to happen? Because it's not this one. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, though. First off, do you think the Raptors will make the playoffs this year? And if you do, and even if you don't, what's the record going to be? Take the wild guess. Let me hear your comments in below. Give me a reason why you chose that record and why or why not they're making the playoffs. I want to hear your thoughts. Now, another thing, my last question for you guys. What are your feelings and thoughts on Goran Dragic? When the trade initially happened, the sign and trade with Kyle Lowry and when Miami Heat acquired Kyle Lowry from the Toronto Raptors in exchange for Goran Dragic and Precious Achiuwa, Dragic's first reaction wasn't all that great. You know, and Raptor fans hear that, and you don't want to be here? Okay, well, have a good one. You know, we don't want you here. But then he comes to Toronto, he becomes good buddies with Scotty Barnes, starts talking to the media, starts talking about how great the city is, the fans have been, blah, blah, blah. Have your feelings changed towards Goran Dragic? Because I initially thought, if you go back to my trade video when that happened, I was basically like, yeah, you could flip him for something, you know, this and that. I didn't think he was going to stick around at all. But here he is. So what are your thoughts on Goran Dragic, and how do you think he's going to mix with this Toronto Raptors team? It's going to be a very interesting mix, right? You got the veteran guard in Goran Dragic with the young guard in Kyle Lowry. I'm going to do that quite a bit. Fred VanVleet. But then you have Goran Dragic with all the young players, like a Precious Achiuwa, who he's obviously known last year with the Miami Heat. With a guy like Scotty Barnes, who he's definitely gravitated to this offseason. It's going to be a very interesting year for Goran Dragic. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts about him in the comments. Now, away from Dragic, away from Lowry, away from Fred VanVleet, let's talk about some guys that I'm jacked up to watch come preseason. One guy is OG Anunoby. I mean, in my opinion, he's the X factor for this team. We saw him in the second half of last year dominate, was doing some unbelievable things, shooting the ball extremely well, doing unreal things defensively as we got used to seeing, but he added the offensive game, and he was flat out dominant. Where's he going to take his game this year? Is he going to go that next step higher? Is he going to stay the same? Or is he going to decline? We'll have to see. But I'm jacked. I think he's going to be I think OG's going to be an absolute unit this year. That's just my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts all over the comments below. By the way, guys, this preseason preview is not really for me just to talk. It's for me to spew out ideas. You guys go nuts in the comments. That's what it's for. All right? Another guy I'm jacked up to see is Gary Trent Jr. Because what we saw in very limited time last year, post-trade deadline with Norman Powell going to the Trailblazers and Gary Trent and Rodney Hood, at least for the small time, coming to the Toronto Raptors, Gary Trent put up some big-time stuff. Put up a career high in points, knocked down the buzzer beater against the Wizards. Like, he put up some big-time stuff for the Toronto Raptors last year. So I want to hear your thoughts. What are your expectations for Gary Trent Jr.? Excuse me. My expectations is he's a starting unit guy. He's one of your starting five. How? You'll find a way. Because he's a very good starting unit player. I mean, we saw briefly at the end of the year him come off the bench. It's not the same. You don't have the same fire. So Gary Trent Jr., in my opinion, is in the starting unit. That's just my take. You guys can have a different thought. Let me know in the comments. Now, I would be lying if I told you I was not excited to watch our 4th overall pick, Scottie Barnes. Now, obviously, we've seen him, just gravitate to the city and the country like it's his own, like he wants to give us all a hug, and we're like, Scottie, open arms, bud. You want a hug? We'll give it to you. Because Raptor fans, we have seen Scottie Barnes basically become an honorary Canadian just like that. The way he's treated Raptor fans, the way he's talked about the city, the way he's repped the city. It's phenomenal. And I'm jacked up to watch this guy on the court. I don't know if I'm assuming he'll play tomorrow. But I'm jacked up to watch this guy play. Obviously, we know that, he's a prolific defender. At least he was in the summer league and he was in college. But the shot and the offensive game, they're not quite sure about. Now you put him in the Raptors developmental staff. Good things can happen. He seems like a guy who's really ready to work and put in the work. So, hey, you do that, man. You'll be just fine. I can't wait to watch myself some Scottie Barnes. Also, Precious Achiuwa. I'm going to butcher that name so many damn times. But I'm going to do my best to talk about it. Say it a little bit slower. Precious Achiuwa. There we go. That was much better. I will screw that up a ton this year because I was talking so fast half the time. I've been Precious Achiuwa. That's what's going to come out half the time. But either way, you guys will know who I'm talking about. That's the funny part. All right? But he is a bundle of energy. I've talked to some Heat fans, and they say, look, he's a great player. Abysmal free throw shooter, which can change with time. But he's an absolute animal. And I'm like, oh, we like our animals up here. So he's going to fit in quite nicely. And I'm really excited to see what this guy can turn into. Obviously, he's still a very young player. The fact that you got Dragic and this younger player for Kyle Lowry, who's going to leave anyways, was fantastic. So I'm very excited to see what Precious Achiuwa. Here we go. That's going to be a tough one this year, fellas. I apologize in advance for all that stuff. But we can go down the list. We can go down the list. Oh, I'm jacked up to see Pascal Siakam come back from his injury, and if he can play like he did pre-COVID and the last couple months or 1 month and a half or whatever the heck it was of last year where he was phenomenal, if he could put those together and get back to what he was pre-COVID, my goodness, he's going to be a handful. The question is, though, can he do it? And I think so. We know he has the talent. Question is, can he put in the work? Obviously, he's coming back from the injury, the surgery, so he won't be back for a little while to start the season. But when he does, he's got to be ready to go. Now, there's all kinds of role players. If there's anybody else that I did not mention that, we don't expect good things, like Kem Birch, we know what he is. Fred VanVleet, we know what he is for the most part, right? Let me know in the comments below if there's any other players like, hey, I like this guy. I'm really excited to watch what this guy can do for this team. Let me know, and let me know why in the comments below, right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and you are jacked up for Raptors preseason to get going tomorrow night at Scotiabank Arena with fans, I'm pumped. 7 o'clock tip-off there at Scotiabank Arena between the Raptors and the 76ers. I was going to say Ben Simmons, but no, he's not. He ain't playing at all. And if the Raptors trade for him, like hell. And if they do, better be a bag of balls. Because he didn't even want to be there. They're just trying to dump him at this point. So you don't need to give up a ton. But did the Raptors go out? I want to hear your guys' thoughts about that. If you guys are still watching the video, I applaud you. Second of all, if you think Ben Simmons should be traded to the Toronto Raptors, tell me why and what would you give up? It's going to be a pretty wild package for a guy like Ben Simmons, but I don't know if I'm ready to do that. No, thank you. All right? So, guys, comment down below. Go crazy. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Go nuts. Twitter's down below for myself. Upset Media. All that great stuff. The Instagram link is down below, so follow up there. If you've not done so already, guys, and I will talk to you Leafs edition tomorrow night, game 4 of the preseason, as the Leafs head to Ottawa, taking on the Sens. They've probably been there for the last 5 days or so. They haven't left. I would assume they haven't left. Tomorrow in game 4 of the preseason. All right, looking to tune things up heading into the regular season, which is about a week away, maybe a little bit over. I'm not too sure. I've been so jacked up about this team. I haven't really focused on Leaf preseason and all. But now that that's done, got to dial it in. And as for the Toronto Raptors, game 1 of the preseason goes tomorrow night at Scotiabank Arena. 7 o'clock tip-off there. Philly in Toronto taking on the Raptors with fans in the stands. Can't flip and wait, Raptor fans. And I will talk to you guys post-game, talking about the goods, the bads, the greats, the uglies, whatever the case may be from tomorrow night's game, all right? So thank you guys for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys then.